Hello everyone, I'm Alex Absalom.
And I'm Hannah Absalom. And today we want to talk about the spiritual discipline of interruption. So
You're very good at that.
Interrupting you?
Yes.
Or letting myself be interrupted?
Oh darling, I meant the latter, obviously. Obviously I meant the latter.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But anyway, so basically we need to be willing to be interrupted, which sometimes I'm good at and sometimes I'm definitely not. So I'm working on this, but basically just looking at the Gospels and how Jesus operated with his disciples. They did so much of the discipleship journey as they were on the way, on the road, doing life together.
I've got a Bible passage for you. So in Luke chapter 8, verses 41 to 43. Then a man named Jairus, a synagogue leader, came and fell at Jesus' feet, pleading with him to come to his house because his only daughter, a girl of about 12, was dying. As Jesus was on his way, the crowds almost crushed him, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. Now, this is a beautiful story. I'm sure most of you know it quite well. But if you notice, there's actually an interruption. So they're going about their stuff, Jesus and the gang, and then Jairus comes. And then there's an interruption to the interruption, the woman with the bleeding. And of course, they both have this incredible encounter with the Lord and so on. But what we want to take from that is that Jesus was highly interruptible, and it's a pattern you see in the Gospels again and again. So that would suggest it's a pattern we have to learn to follow as well.
So again, I've already said, but I mean, often Jesus and the disciples, they were on the road when this sort of stuff happened, outside the gates of Jericho or wherever it is, or they were around a table, and again, different things happened. And so, if you think about the miracles, the healings, the deliverances, all those different things, very few of them happened in the synagogue or in the place of meeting. Most of them were on the road or in the house or as they were doing stuff, and often it was an interruption. And how willing, therefore, are we to be interrupted?
Very good. So we want to give you 5 practices that you can take on board so you can develop the spiritual discipline of interruption. So number 1, Hannah, is
allow margin. So the Lord's been speaking to me a bit about margin just in life in general. So it's in life in general, but as you go. So for me, as I go to the grocery store, as we go for a walk, I like to be, come on, let's get this stuff done. But sometimes actually I need to not have my to-do list so tightly controlled. I need to, when I have the interruption, that's fine. So it's allowing a few extra minutes.
Number 2 is deliberately choose interruptibility. In other words, you lean into that, you open it up. So that means make yourself available for in places where you're going to be interrupted. So embrace that, welcome it. So for instance, it might be you choose, if we love to walk, so we'll walk in our neighbourhood. So you choose to go walk for a walk at a time when lots of people will be around and you're going to be interrupted. You deliberately choose that as part of your journey of walking as a missionary disciple.
Third one is ask for it. So pray before you go out or whatever. So before you go out the door, before you start walking or get in the car or whatever, it's just pray, okay, Lord, I've got my agenda, but this is your time too. And Lord, if there's an interruption, help me perceive that and be aware. We did actually for a while have a little sticker in our box, didn't we? In our key drawer, and it was basically whenever we went out, that I can't remember what it said.
Pray for encounters. Pray
for encounters, and we literally would pray for an encounter every time we went out of the door. So
that's very good. Number 4 on our list is pay attention when you sense a prompt from the Holy Spirit. So pay attention when you sense a prompt from the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit will prompt us, he will stir us, he'll give you that little dig in the ribs, and so we just have to learn to not ignore that or to be frustrated by that, but actually to see it as an opportunity or as an adventure of following Jesus.
And then when you do get that Holy Spirit dig in the ribs, actually, take the risk. So step out, be bold, go, okay, Lord, I'm going to do this, help me. So take the risk.
Okay, so there's 5 things there. There's many more we could give you. But to wrap up, we're going to give you a little bit of homework or next steps. And they are this. What we'd like you to do is to look back and to look forward. So looking back, reflect on the past few days, maybe the past week or so of your life. Were there any divine spiritual interruptions? So were there any moments where actually either you realised at the time or you look back and go, oh, I think that might have been a God-inspired, orchestrated interruption. So that's the first thing. Because by looking back, we start to see patterns and see how God works with you in particular. Secondly, as we look ahead, how can you make more margin for mission? How can you grow in interruptibility? So again, there's a lot of that I think is just going to be very simple, very practical. It's very down to earth, granular stuff. So have a think, what would help you make that space and be more intentional about that? And then probably with that, okay, so as you think about these things, who could you tell so they can help you be accountable for growing in that area?
So God bless you in this. We'd love to hear stories. Yeah, if you have good stories or interruptions, write them down. We'd love to hear them and be encouraged by them. But yeah, God bless you as you do this.